Have you ever pondered on the origins of the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth? The story begins in the mid-16th century, specifically the year 1569, when the Union of Lublin was established. This union wasn't an ordinary one. It was a pivotal moment in history, merging two powerful entities, the Kingdom of Poland and the Grand Duchy of Lithuania. The union was more than just a marriage of convenience or a strategic alliance. It was the birth of a new political entity, a commonwealth that was destined to leave its mark on European history. This unification brought together different cultures, languages, and traditions, creating a melting pot that was to become the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth. The Commonwealth was a testament to the power of unity, a beacon of cooperation in an often divided world. And so, two separate entities became one, marking the birth of the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth. In an era where religious conflicts were rampant, could a place of religious tolerance exist? Imagine a realm in the 16th century where religious freedom was not just a concept, but a reality. This was the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth. In 1573, the Warsaw Confederation was signed, a remarkable document for its time. It granted religious freedom to both nobles and peasants, a rare gesture of inclusivity, unheard of in an age when religious persecution was the norm across Europe. There were exceptions, of course, but the spirit of the law was clear. In the Commonwealth, you had the right to practice your faith without fear. Distinct from the blood-soaked religious wars that tore apart much of Europe, the Commonwealth was a haven of relative tranquility. This policy of tolerance was not perfect, but it was significant. In the face of widespread conflict, the Commonwealth stood as a beacon of religious tolerance. What if your king was elected, not born? This is not a hypothetical for the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth. The Commonwealth was a unique political experiment in the heart of Europe, where the king was not born into the role, but elected by the nobility. This system, known as the Golden Liberty, was a shining example of a constitutional and elective monarchy. But the Golden Liberty was more than just an elective monarchy. It was a symbol of the Commonwealth's commitment to the principles of democracy. The nobility, known as the Szlachta, were not merely subjects but active participants in the governance of the Commonwealth. They had the power to elect the king and to make important decisions about the Commonwealth's policies and direction. In a time when absolute monarchies were the norm, the Commonwealth offered a different path. Democracy, in its noble form, was alive and thriving in the Commonwealth. Could a parliament function with two separate chambers? The Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth answered this question with a resounding yes. The Commonwealth's parliament, known as the seum, was one of the earliest examples of a bicameral legislature. This dual structure consisted of the seum proper and the Senate. The seum proper was composed of representatives from various regions and social classes, while the Senate was made up of high-ranking nobles and bishops. This balance allowed for a more diverse representation of the Commonwealth's populace. The bicameral system also created checks and balances to prevent the misuse of power. Each chamber had its own responsibilities, but they had to work together to pass laws and make important decisions. The seum structure was innovative for its time and influenced the formation of other parliaments around the world. Thus, the seum set a precedent for future parliaments across the world. What made the Commonwealth a force to reckon with? The answer lies in its military might. The Commonwealth was no mere political entity. It was a formidable military power. In its early years, the Commonwealth successfully defended itself against several invasions. Consider the Ottoman Empire, a powerful force that sought to extend its domain. The Commonwealth stood firm, repelling Ottoman invasions and asserting its strength. But the Ottoman Empire wasn't the only threat. Sweden and Russia, two other significant powers of the time, also set their sights on the Commonwealth. Yet, the Commonwealth's military prowess held strong, defending its people and its sovereignty against these substantial threats. The Commonwealth's military strength did not stem from mere numbers or weaponry. It was a reflection of the spirit of the Commonwealth, a testament to its resolve and its dedication to preserving its unique political and social structure. The Commonwealth was not just a political entity, but a significant military power. What makes a king remembered through the ages? This question perfectly brings us to the tale of King Jan III Sobieski, a name that resonates with valor and strategic brilliance. Sobieski's rule was marked by a momentous event that would etch his name in the annals of history, the Battle of Vienna in 1683. It was a time of great turmoil, as the Ottoman Turks were spreading their dominion across Europe. Sobieski, aware of the impending threat, took the reins and led a coalition army to face the formidable Turks. The battle was fierce, the stakes were high, but Sobieski's strategic genius shone through. His leadership and tactical brilliance turned the tide, leading his coalition to a decisive victory against the Ottoman Turks. This victory not only halted the Ottoman Empire's expansion into Europe, but also established Sobieski as a figure of immense historical significance. His ability to unite and lead, his courage, and his strategic prowess all contribute to his enduring legacy. King Jan III Sobieski, a name etched in the annals of history. Could a document change the course of a nation? That's exactly what happened in the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth with the adoption of the Constitution of the 3rd of May, 1791. This wasn't just any constitution. It holds the distinction of being one of the first modern written constitutions in Europe. But what made it truly revolutionary was its aim to introduce political reforms. The Constitution sought to strengthen the central government, which was a daring move in a time when absolute monarchies were the norm. It also aimed to foster a sense of national identity among the diverse people of the Commonwealth. It was a progressive document, ahead of its time, that sought to balance power between the monarchy and the nobility while protecting the rights of the serfs. And although the Commonwealth was eventually partitioned and dissolved, this constitution left an indelible mark on its history. Thus, the Commonwealth embraced the winds of change with the Constitution of the 3rd of May, 1791. What happens when a nation becomes a crucible of culture and intellect? The Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth, during its Renaissance and Baroque periods, answers that question with a resounding flourish of cultural and intellectual vibrancy. It was a place where the arts, literature, and science were not just appreciated, but actively fostered and developed. Imagine a realm where the quill of the writer danced to the rhythm of enlightenment, where the painter's palette burst with the colors of new ideas and perspectives, where the researcher's mind was set free to explore the uncharted territories of knowledge. It was a time when the Commonwealth became a beacon, illuminating the path for the rest of Europe, setting new standards in intellectual pursuits. This was a period that saw the rise of great minds and the creation of masterpieces that have withstood the test of time. The Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth, a cultural powerhouse of its time. What leads to the fall of a great power? The unraveling of the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth was a complex interplay of internal strife, external invasions, and conflicts with neighboring powers. The Commonwealth, once a beacon of tolerance and democracy, found itself entangled in a web of its own making. Internally, the noble democracy that once defined the Commonwealth began to falter, as factions within the nobility clashed over power and influence. Externally, the Commonwealth was beset on all sides by ambitious neighbors. The Ottoman Empire, Sweden, and Russia all sought to exploit the Commonwealth's internal divisions for their own gains. The final nail in the coffin was the partitions of Poland, carried out by Russia, Prussia, and Austria in the late 18th century. These partitions divided the Commonwealth into pieces, each annexed by one of its powerful neighbors. The once proud and independent entity was no more. The mighty Commonwealth, a victim of its own complexities and external pressures. What remains when a nation ceases to exist? A powerful question. And in the case of the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth, the answer is a rich and enduring legacy. This unique entity was a beacon of political and religious pluralism in an era where such values were scarce. Its impact has left an indelible mark on the historical and cultural tapestry of the region. Whether it's the democratic principles found in the Golden Liberty or the bicameral legislature system, the Commonwealth's innovative political structures have influenced many modern governments. The spirit of religious tolerance that once thrived within its borders is a testament to its progressive nature. Its cultural flourishing during the Renaissance and Baroque periods fostered the development of literature, art, and science, echoing through the centuries. While the Commonwealth is no longer, its essence persists, shining through the annals of history. The Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth, gone but not forgotten, its legacy lives on.